In the summer of 1944, as Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy and pushed into the heart of Nazi-occupied Europe, one American family in a small town in upstate New York received news that would shatter them forever. But buried within that tragedy was a mission, a real mission, to find one surviving son and bring him home. This is the true story behind Saving Private Ryan. The Niland family of Tonawanda, New York, raised 4 brothers, all of whom answered the call to serve their country during World War II. Edward, Fritz, Preston, and Robert Niland were ordinary American young men, sons of a devoted mother named Augusta, who found themselves scattered across the most violent theaters of the war. Edward Niland served in the Pacific Theater with the Army Air Forces, flying missions over Burma. Fritz Niland, Frederick to those who knew him formerly, served with the 101st Airborne Division, the famous Screaming Eagles. Preston Niland was with the 22nd Infantry Regiment, 4th Infantry Division, and Robert Niland served with the 82nd Airborne Division, the All-Americans. On June 6, 1944, D-Day, the largest seaborne invasion in human history, was set in motion. In the pre-dawn darkness, tens of thousands of Allied troops descended on the beaches and fields of Normandy. Fritz Niland jumped from a C-47 transport plane into the black Norman sky with the 101st Airborne, landing behind enemy lines hours before the beach landings began. Robert Niland jumped with the 82nd Airborne. The Niland brothers were in the thick of the greatest military operation of the 20th century. On June 6th itself, Robert Niland was killed near the village of Neuville-au-Plain, while reportedly holding a position against advancing German forces so that his fellow soldiers could withdraw to safety. He was 28 years old. Just one day later, on June 7th, Preston Niland was killed in action near Utah Beach. He was 26. 2 brothers, gone in less than 48 hours. Back home, Augusta Niland had not yet learned of these losses, but the United States Army had, and word was beginning to travel through military channels that a 3rd Niland brother, Edward, had been reported missing in action and presumed dead in the Pacific, shot down over Burma. To the Army, the math was devastating and undeniable. The Niland family appeared to have lost 3 sons in the same week. Under a policy rooted in a tragic precedent, the loss of the 5 Sullivan brothers aboard the USS Juno in 1942, the military had a vested interest in not allowing another American family to be entirely wiped out by the war. That policy, formalized as the sole survivor policy, would eventually become law, but in 1944 it was already shaping decisions on the ground. Enter Father Francis Sampson, a Catholic chaplain with the 101st Airborne, known to the men as Paratrooper Padre. Father Sampson was tasked with a mission that would one day inspire Hollywood: find Fritz Niland, the one surviving brother known to still be alive in Normandy, and arrange for him to be sent home. Father Sampson searched the hedgerows and shattered villages of the Norman countryside. The bocage, those dense, ancient earthen banks and hedgerows, had turned the French farmland into a deadly maze for Allied soldiers. Moving through this landscape, past burned-out equipment and shattered orchards, Sampson located Fritz Niland and delivered the news. Fritz had not yet heard that both Preston and Robert had been killed. The grief was immediate and devastating. Fritz Niland was pulled from the front lines and sent to Cherbourg, then to England, and eventually back to the United States. He spent the remainder of the war stateside, assigned to duty that kept him far from combat. He was the last surviving son, and the Army intended to keep him that way. But the story has one more extraordinary chapter. Edward Niland, the brother reported dead in the Pacific, was not dead. He had been shot down over Burma and captured by Japanese forces. He spent over a year as a prisoner of war in a Japanese camp, enduring conditions that were harsh and deeply uncertain. When Allied forces liberated the camp in 1945, Edward emerged alive. He returned home to Tonawanda, where Augusta Niland, who had already received 3 devastating War Department telegrams, welcomed back not one, but 2 of her sons. The story of the Niland brothers captured the imagination of screenwriter Robert Rodat, who used it as the emotional and moral backbone of Steven Spielberg's 1998 masterpiece, Saving Private Ryan. In the film, the character of Private James Ryan is a composite and a dramatization. His rescue is fictionalized and placed within an epic fictional mission led by Captain John Miller, played by Tom Hanks. The beaches, the chaos, the carnage of D-Day are rendered with brutal and haunting realism. But beneath the fiction lies this true story of a family, a policy, and a chaplain walking through the ruins of Normandy, looking for one man to send home. Fritz Niland lived a quiet life after the war. He became a dentist, settled in California, and rarely spoke publicly about his wartime experience or his brother's sacrifices. He passed away in 1983. Edward Niland lived until 1984. Together, they carried the weight of what had happened in that terrible week of June 1944. 2 brothers lost forever on the soil of France, and a family forever changed. The sole survivor policy, born from tragedies like the Sullivans and shaped by situations like the Nilands, remains in effect in the United States military to this day. It is a quiet acknowledgement that behind every uniform is a family, and that some costs are simply too great for one family to bear alone. The Niland brothers didn't ask to become a symbol. They were just 4 young men from upstate New York who answered the call, and in doing so, they gave us one of history's most powerful stories of sacrifice, loss, and the unbreakable bond of family. Follow Empire Echoes for more incredible history stories.